Dee, you're here today suing for the £150 that she hasn't paid you, correct?
Correct.
Why haven't you paid it?
Because I need that money to live off now until I do find another job, because she has prevented me from getting a job quicker.
Well, she hasn't prevented you from getting a job. Mum's place of work is not the only place you could get a job. I know that I know that because you've previously got other jobs in the past, correct?
Correct.
So let's use our rather broad imagination. She could get a job elsewhere, correct?
Correct.
Are you currently looking?
Yes, I have an interview tomorrow.
How splendid! Now, one of the things you're annoyed about, Dee, which I understand, is what about Portia giving up her job?
Well, that she's done it without getting another job first. I completely understand her being unhappy in her job, and I would not want her to stay in a job where she's not happy. That's not the case here, but find something else first.
In other words, it ties into the great big R word, and I don't mean Rinder. What's the big R word?
Responsibility. She has a responsibility.
Understood. Do you agree? Are we going to have chops?
Lamb. Minted lamb, will that do you? No. OK.
Oh, no, I was happy with the minted lamb. Understood. And you've got an interview tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
Your position is this. Look, is this a legally enforceable agreement, and young people ought to have responsibility? Correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Say it to me, young people should have responsibility.
Young people should have responsibility.
Splendid. Dee, let me tell you, if I could, I would put it on a poster with your face on it. Sadly, I have to determine whether or not this is a legally enforceable agreement, so I'm going to come to a ruling now. Dee, Portia, you're two excellent people. And the reason I know that you are excellent people is because, Portia, you have an excellent mum. A mum who has ensured that you've turned into a, by and large, responsible young person who understands that you have financial obligations. The question is, which is important for this court, as it is for others, whether or not that obligation that you have to your mum is a legally enforceable one. And Dee, in law, that's an interesting question. She's a licensee. In other words, she's a de facto lodger in your house. That means you can charge her to live there, but you can go in and out of her room whenever you please. The difficulty you have is, just like any other agreement or contract between you and a relative, you have to get it in writing in order for it to be enforceable. Otherwise, it exists in this space which is just called an informal arrangement, responsibility or not. And the court can do nothing to enforce those sorts of enforceable arrangements because there's no intention to create legal relations. In other words, if she didn't pay you that £150, it wasn't understood between the parties that you'd ever bring her to court, even though I admire the fact that you have. For that reason, you don't have an enforceable contract, so I have to dismiss your case. However, what I feel fairly sure about is when you leave court, you're going to draft up a little agreement called an undertaking, and it's going to say as follows: I hereby agree to pay Mum £150 within decide reasonable period. Otherwise, I shall be coming back to Judge Rinder's court. Understood?
Understood.
Do you undertake to sign such agreement?
I do.
How splendid. Your case is dismissed for now, and I shall expect those lamb chops.
Anytime. Thank you.
Dee's case was dismissed and she was awarded nothing by the court.
Follow me out.
Let's find out how both parties felt about the judge's ruling.
I did live there for 2 weeks, but however, my reasons are that I was prevented on getting that job quicker. I mean, obviously you were saying that I shouldn't have left that job before finding another one, but in my defence, I did find one, and you objected.
Yeah, but that's still not grounds for you not paying what you've owed, because you still lived at the house and you've still eaten and had electricity and gas and all the rest of it, so I completely understand his ruling, because we didn't have anything in writing, so I completely understand that. So we're definitely going to get something in writing now.
Interview tomorrow, yeah, at another call centre, so fingers crossed.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue of your own, get in touch with us by clicking over here.